Good and evil, concepts as old as humanity itself. But what do they really mean? Are they fixed truths that guide us all, or are they shaped by where and when we live? Welcome to the Paradox Portal, where we explore the mysteries of life, existence, and philosophy. In today's video, we'll tackle one of the greatest questions. Is morality universal or subjective? Let's break it down and explore examples from philosophy, culture, science, and everyday life. To start, let's define morality. Morality is the system of principles and values that helps us decide what is right and wrong. It's like an inner compass guiding our actions. But where does this compass come from? Is it built into the universe? Or do we create it ourselves? The idea of universal morality suggests that there are certain rules of right and wrong that apply to everyone, everywhere, at all times. Let's take some examples. Philosopher Immanuel Kant believed in the categorical imperative. This means that if an action is truly moral, it should be something everyone can follow. For example, telling the truth. If everyone lies, society collapses. So truth-telling could be considered universally good. Religions also promote universal principles. Christianity, Islam, and Buddhism all teach values like kindness, honesty, and justice. These values are meant to guide humanity as a whole, not just specific groups. When we think about figures like Gandhi, who fought for peace, or Martin Luther King Jr., who championed equality, their messages seem universally moral. They resonate because they appeal to shared human values, like fairness and compassion. On the other hand, subjective morality argues that right and wrong depend on context, culture, and personal beliefs. What's acceptable in one society might be considered wrong in another. Here are some examples. In some cultures, eating beef is normal, while in others, it's considered deeply immoral due to religious beliefs. Similarly, arranged marriages are celebrated in many societies, but criticized in others as outdated or oppressive. Even within the same culture, morality changes over time. For instance, slavery was once legal and accepted in many parts of the world, but today, it's universally condemned. This shows that morality can evolve with society's values and understanding. What does science say about morality? Neuroscience tells us that parts of our brain, like the prefrontal cortex, help us make moral decisions. For example, when you feel bad for someone, in pain, that's your brain activating empathy. Animals also show moral behavior. Wolves share food, and elephants mourn their dead. These actions suggest that morality might have evolved to help groups survive. Science also raises new questions. For instance, can artificial intelligence have morals? If so, should it follow universal ethics or adapt to different cultures? So whether morality is universal or subjective is a complex and ongoing debate. It involves philosophy, culture, science, and our everyday lives. Understanding the intricacies of this question allows us to navigate our moral compasses and engage in meaningful discussions about what is right and wrong in our diverse world. Let's bring this scenario closer to home. Imagine you stumble upon a wallet filled with cash. The question arises, do you return it or keep it? Many would argue that the right thing to do is to return it. But what if you were in a desperate situation, struggling to feed your family? Does the context change what is considered morally right? Similarly, let's consider the topic of climate change. Some people believe that it is immoral to prioritize economic growth over protecting the planet. On the other hand, others argue that a strong economy is necessary to address environmental issues in the long run. The question arises, who is right? In today's interconnected world, the discussion around morality has become more complex than ever. Philosophers like Peter Singer advocate for utilitarianism, which suggests that moral actions should aim to maximize happiness and minimize suffering for the greatest number of people. This philosophy often influences debates on topics such as charity, environmental policies, and global aid. Meanwhile, modern existentialists argue that individuals must define their own moral paths in an uncertain world. With the advancement of technology and global communication, we are more aware of diverse moral frameworks than ever before. This forces us to navigate through a mosaic of values while finding common ground. So where do we stand? The truth may lie somewhere in between. Certain values, like the importance of life or fairness, seem to be shared across cultures. However, the interpretation and application of these values can vary greatly. Perhaps morality is akin to a shared language, with different dialects, universal in its essence, but diverse in its expression. Good and evil may never have a single definition, but that's precisely what makes these conversations so important. Understanding each other's perspectives helps us grow as individuals and as a society. What do you think? Are morality and ethics universal truths, or are they shaped by context and culture? We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for delving into this paradox with us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Paradox portal for more in-depth explorations into the mysteries of life and existence. Until next time, keep questioning and keep seeking. The Paradox portal, where questions lead to understanding.